Maybe healing isn't letting go of the pain, yeah? And maybe for some of you, it's letting go of the identity you have built around that. Because I want to tell you this, nobody's dismissing your suffering. What happened to you absolutely mattered. The heartbreak, it mattered. The betrayal, it mattered. The grief absolutely mattered. But there comes the point in your healing journey where you have to ask yourself very uncomfortable question. Who would you be without that story, that label? Not because it did not happen, not because it wasn't painful, but because you have carried it for such a long time that it stopped being something that happened to you. And what it happened is started becoming who you are. So for example is, I'm abandoned one, yeah? I'm betrayed one. Things don't go my way, yeah? I'm the rejected one. I'm the one who always struggles, or I'm the one who always has to do everything alone, yeah? And after a while, what happens is that label becomes heavier than an original wound. Because now you're not just carrying the pain, yeah? You're not just carrying the pain, you're carrying the identity with that pain. And identities are a little bit harder to let go. Because if I'm no longer the abandoned one, who am I? If I'm no longer the wounded one, who you are now? If I'm no longer the person who struggles, who are you now? Who are you now? Because our suffering is up to us. And I think the part of the suffering comes from protecting that label, even though it's no longer serving us, but we can't see it. And we keep proving to the people, keep defending the label, collecting evidence about people, things like that. And you're living through that label. So instead of asking, what if I'm ready to put this identity down? I want to ask you this is, what if the healing isn't learning how to carry the story better? What if it's finally becoming free from it? Because the truth is, you're not what happened to you. You're absolutely not. You're not your diagnosis. You're not your heartbreak. Yeah? You are not your perhaps divorce. Yeah? You're not your trauma. You're not your struggle. Those experiences may be the chapters of your story, but they were never meant to become your identity. And the next version of your life doesn't require more healing, but it requires the courage to stop introducing yourself through your wounds and start meeting yourself through you, the truest form of you, through your potential. Who are you without that label? And maybe that's where your freedom will begin. In that moment, yeah? Who are you without that label? And so many times when I ask the people, who are they without that label? They stop and pause and they say, Yelena, I have no idea. Who am I? Because some of you carry that label for such a long time. And this is where, and we write the story, we always work through peeling up those layers, labels, because you don't need them to go further with you. They're part of that chapter, part of that in that book of your life. But now it's time to start writing the new chapter. But you can't write it without seeing this chapter. Yeah? You can't. That's why the vision boards, they work only for the month of January. By February, you're already back to old you, because it's familiar. You didn't rewrite the story. Yeah, so it's up to us, not about anyone else. It's up to us. It's up to you to rewrite your own story.